Another catch-up from 2019, The Goldfinch, is based off of the best-selling novel and stars Ansel Elgort as a young man whose troubled childhood leads him to the world of art forgery after his mother died in a terrorist bomb attack during his time in a museum while taking an interest in the painting called The Goldfish. This movie I was very intrigued by when I heard about it. The cast intrigued me. The fact that Roger Deakins, one of my favorite people on the entire planet, was going to be the cinematographer. A fact that I actually forgot about until after I saw the film and I was just sitting in the audience, or I was sitting in the auditorium room and I was just sitting there. I was like, who the f*** actually did the cinematography? And then I looked and I was like, oh god. For multiple reasons, and I'll get into that later. And also just the overall concept, since I had never read the book myself, and I was looking forward to it, especially since it was being showcased on the festival circuit during the time when a lot of the big awards contenders were coming out. And, you know, that makes it good, right?
Yeah, sure.
And yeah, this film didn't go anywhere as far as awards buzz. If anything, it kind of became a meme for a short period of time. But getting back into the familiar stuff, before I get to my thoughts on the film, I want to remind you guys to hit that like button, and also to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And just as a normal disclaimer, a short disclaimer for those of you who are new, I use a pro and con list for my setup, for my reviews. And usually I don't keep the sections separate, but at the same time, sometimes I do. I don't know. We'll just see how it works out with the overall can't speak. The overall product as we go through this together. Now, let's get into my review of The Goldfinch. All I can say is that the cinematography from Roger Deakins is pretty and just masterful feeling, but with a lesser film than he deserves, it just comes across as a bit pretentious, and I'll touch more later on why this is a, quote, lesser film. Anyway, luckily he got another chance to really shine on the big screen last year thanks to his Oscar-winning contribution to Sam Mendes' 1917. Hell, it only took like 30 years to actually get 2 Oscars, like, back to back. Good on you, man. There are 2 young adult performances in this film from Oakes Fegley and Finn Wolfhard, and they're both fantastic, especially Wolfhard, who plays a Russian-born friend of the main character, whose young version is Oakes Fegley. I always want to say Oakes Finley, but I know that's not correct. But anyway, in regards to the rest of the film, the young versions of these characters are the best versions. Even though this is just one single con, and believe me, this is the last point I will make, but it is, there's so much to it. Even though this is one point. This encompasses the reason why this film in general fails miraculously. Every other performance, regardless of the caliber actor behind them, is just hobbled by a script that flattens their characters into these archetypes, and also by this excess of stylistic time jumps in which the editing of the film just calls attention to itself. This is obvious, on-the-nose storytelling, but this is frustratingly deferred and dispersed as these flashback glimpses, and we're never allowed the simple thrill of just piecing all of it together in order just to see where we're going. This is a story that probably would have worked better as an 8-hour or so miniseries, and it probably would have worked better because this was an Amazon Studios production, because as it is, the story is crammed into like 2.5 hours of a snooze fest in which the more interesting parts speed by as though, you know, we're only fast forwarding through the good parts. And the concept is really good. Like I said, I never read the book, as I've beaten into your head multiple times, but while watching the film, certain things occurred that made me think, wow, no wonder people love the book. but I don't feel anything. And that was just my feeling throughout the film. Also, I have to mention that Nicole Kidman seems to be showing up in a lot of movies over the past year or more, where she's just kind of there to be in a role, and that's it. And it's kind of depressing because I love her, so I just wanted to put that out there. This film was Oscar bait that checked every possible box that you'd expect. Talented cast overall, a dark, somber story, Oscar-caliber cinematography, adapted from a great novel. It really does check a lot of those boxes that you expect to be in an Oscar-worthy film. But it also shows that you need substance along with those check boxes. I'll leave it at this. Don't watch this film. You'll wonder why the hell you turned it on in the first place. There's just no point, and honestly, it's easy to watch this film for free, especially if you're an Amazon Prime member. Just don't even waste your time. There's no point. And with that, my review ends here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Once again, don't forget to hit that like button and also to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And as always, farewell until the next video, all of you casual moviegoers and movie fans alike, and keep on being awesome.